American Republicans look at this and say, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, because this is why you lost in 2010. We said that the public option was going to become mainstream, that Obamacare was not the end-all be-all, that really secretly Democrats were conspiring to get in this public option and to limit your choices with private insurance. He's been so busy these past few days signing this, doing that, and here's the problem. He can't build a border wall unless Congress pays for it.
I'm not answering that question.
Well, I was just going to ask you about North Korea, man. Everybody else is interested in Graham Cassidy.
This Sunday, however, a role reversal. The 11-year FNS host didn't ask the questions, he answered them.
What's your goal with each show? Do you hope to break news, entertain, inform? What do you go into this?
The answer is yes.
The former center fielder for the Atlanta Braves farm team required no talking points to teach a rookie how to hit a baseball.
So keep your shoulder down.
Front shoulder, there you go. There you go. And swing through the ball. Perfect.
So this is where I'll come from, because I'm a Capitol Hill reporter. I cover Congress, and you look at certain caucuses up on Capitol Hill. One of the most important caucuses in the Democratic group, so to speak, the Congressional Black Caucus. Now, back in 2008, when then candidate Obama was running, there was a big fight, and I mean an all-out brawl between members of the Black Caucus and who supported Hillary Clinton, who supported Barack Obama. Because you tend to walk off the floor when the vote comes up in the Senate?
This was so not organized, I don't know.
Were you surprised by his answer yesterday to your question as to whether he watched the testimony?
Yeah,
You were.
yeah.
Guys, this is like it's like a mystery novel.
One you can't, as a long-time member of the judiciary.
Did you respond to the North Korea button question? What do you make of the button?
I just hope he doesn't touch it.
I'm not answering that question. Stop.
Well, I was just going to ask you about North Korea, man. Everybody else is interested in Graham Cassidy.
There you go.
What did you tell him about Graham Cassidy?
I told him that I have nothing to say. We're watching it evolve, and we're working with the governor, and we're hoping that we can make progress.
Okay, on North Korea. How is President Trump handling North Korea, and is it appropriate to call Kim Jong-un Rocket Man, which he did at the UN?
I think it's okay if he calls him Rocket Man, but the only thing is that diverts from the message.
Two scenarios for you. One, we wake up tomorrow, Roy Moore is the junior senator from Alabama. What does it look like in the Senate?
Well, it'd be up to the leadership.
That's what it was about today, this story that President Trump's going to leave open the national parks or whatever it is. It was about the monuments, but not necessarily
We have a benevolent president today rather than a spiteful one.
The executive branch has a fiduciary obligation to minimize the impact of a shutdown.
Socrates' philosophies and hypotheses can't define how I would drop on these mockeries. Lyrically performed on robberies. Steal from the lottery. Possibly they follow me.
That's a clip, man. You got a clip on.
It's early Sunday morning, and Chris Wallace walks a well-worn path between his personal office and his public one, the Fox News Sunday set.
Good morning.
This Sunday, however, a role reversal. The 11-year FNS host didn't ask the questions, he answered them. What's your goal with each show? Do you hope to break news, entertain, inform? What do you go into this?
The answer is yes. I mean, seriously, it's all of those things.
Do you find that in some situations or some interviews that they get kind of testy and there's hard feelings afterwards and guests won't come back to a show? Does the relationship you have or the lack of communication with Bill Clinton affect or impact whether you're going to get an interview with Hillary Clinton?
Well, it didn't in 2008. In fact, I have to say, Secretary Clinton, then Senator Clinton, was very fair and talked to us as much as any of the other Sunday shows. And I remember Terry McAuliffe, who was then, I think, her campaign chairman, saying that she's getting fairer coverage on Fox than any place else. I hope she remembers it this time.
Wallace has decades of experience in the broadcast industry that began unofficially at home as a kid with stepfather Bill Leonard, one-time head of CBS News, and father Mike Wallace, famed 60 Minutes correspondent. Both gave him advice that he uses today. Roger Williams, a second-term Texas lawmaker, works Capitol Hill like an old pro. He moves bills off the floor, shows off his Lone Star State roots, and jets home after votes each week to return to his district. Williams spends part of that time cracking baseballs at the batting cage he built at his Fort Worth area home. a practice that he was once paid to do as a professional baseball player. The former center fielder for the Atlanta Braves farm team required no talking points to teach a rookie how to hit a baseball. So keep your shoulder down.
Front shoulder, there you go. There you go. And swing through the ball. Perfect.
Which Democratic 2020 potentials do you see supporting that, or who've spoken to it?
Well, I think there's a lot, and I think that what we're hoping to do is to really be a part of that debate. You know, maybe be kind of like the pace dog in a racetrack. If we as a progressive movement can do that and to say, listen, these are what people are asking us. This is what we're seeing on the ground.
One of the things that concerns me is that when the masses of people, say in my district, that really want to see the president impeached, they want to see him impeached because they want to see him removed. And what I think is very important, and is incumbent upon me and other members of the Democratic caucus, we have to make sure that our constituents are very clear that the impeachment process is not going to result in Trump leaving.
He's been so busy these past few days, signing this, doing that, and here's the problem. He can't build a border wall unless Congress pays for it. But it was also interesting to hear him talk about building, I signed the Keystone, I signed the, these pipes. He goes, I found this clause, we want to make sure that they're all made in America. And then he talks about fabrication and all these things. He's a builder. He clearly is a builder. And just hearing him speak to this room full of politicians, it's fascinating to see, and fascinating is just the word, and entertaining for somebody like me who's covered Congress for so long.
Was you had Pete Buttigieg, who's the youngest guy on the stage that night, and he was almost the most mature in what he
That's
said,
what I thought.
and that was striking. Seeing this young guy who looks like he could have been in the movie Hoosiers, with exception of his height.
One note on Biden. I mean, I covered him a long time in the Senate, and he's an avuncular kind of guy. This kind of gets him into trouble sometimes. But his saying "Go easy on me, kid," that's completely in Joe Biden's
Biden. And actually really appealing.
I was just going to say.
It's Uncle Joe.
It's
Uncle Joe. It's Uncle Joe. I'm sure
Like,
he
no
didn't
hard
mean it.
feelings. And what was really noticeable before the debate was you had Tom coming on stage, sort of like a Tony Robbins guru, running on stage. Who misses Barack Obama? Who wishes he was still here, essentially? Right. Huge eruption in the audience of applause.
Story could ultimately involve more than just the Trump administration. It could go back to the prior administration, even the administration before that one. It could also involve a pattern of leaking that has escalated. I'm wondering where you think this is going.
Well, see, that's the interesting question. When I talk to Republican lawmakers off camera, of course, behind the scenes, the one reason they were so excited, or at least reassured, that Bob Mueller was tasked with being this special counsel is because, keep in mind, when you have a special counsel like that, he can go wherever the facts take him. And the one crime that they know has been committed is the unmasking and or the leaking of classified information to reporters. Not that the reporters are guilty, but that the people who have leaked the information are guilty. And Bob Mueller is one of those kind of folks, one of those kind of leaders who could get to the bottom of that. And that's what they're hoping is going to come out of this investigation
but wouldn't
by
that
the
be
FBI.
a kick if it turns out that ends up being the big story here?
Well, exactly. It's sort of a case of be careful what you wish for. And it's interesting that when we looked at those subpoenas that the House Intelligence Committee sent out, according to the Wall Street Journal story and some of my sources on the Hill, the Democrats on the committee did not sign off on the 3 subpoenas that were related to the unmasking. A senior Democratic aide says that Nancy Pelosi is the one who placed the call at 12:47. It was 15 minutes, and yes, they're working on reconciling the differences between the House and the Senate bill. The House bill puts much more stringent requirements on how the DHS and how HHS spend money.
So this is where I'll come from, because I'm a Capitol Hill reporter. I cover Congress, and you look at certain caucuses up on Capitol Hill. One of the most important caucuses in the Democratic group, so to speak, the Congressional Black Caucus. Now, back in 2008, when President then candidate Obama was running, there was a big fight, and I mean an all-out brawl between members of the Black Caucus and who supported Hillary Clinton, who supported Barack Obama. Joe Biden has a long relationship with many of these senior members of the Congressional Black Caucus who have been outspoken about individuals, young people, young Democrats challenging incumbent Democrats. They like seniority and they know Joe Biden. And by the way, Joe Biden was the vice president for the first African American president in our country's history.
Molly. Well, listen, I know you don't want to get too bloody when you're in a primary fight, but guess what? You're going to have to fend off attacks that are going to be coming at you full force. So you might as well do it with the ones you love, so to speak. I know when I'm playing for a sectionals match with my tennis team, we go hard at each other in our practice matches, and it really it prepares us for that. The real thing. These are the individuals on the Hill, these younger, more liberal groups like Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, Rashida Tlaib, Ayanna Pressley, Ilhan Omar. That group, they're in office right now. So will individuals who are left-leaning and do not want to compromise on things, will they compromise in the Democratic primary? This morning it was particularly interesting when he said, I think the Republicans up on Capitol Hill have been too nice. We should have voted on this. They should have voted on this several weeks ago. If it was me, I would have done it quicker. But they've been really too nice. And Jeff Flake said to me, he goes, well, this is the Senate. We are not the White House. And Republicans look at this and say, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, because this is why you lost in 2010. We said that the public option was going to become mainstream, that Obamacare was not the end-all be-all, that really secretly Democrats were conspiring to get in this public option and to limit your choices with private insurance. And that's something that we did see the moderates all kind of going at the two progressives or the mainstreams on this public policy issue on the stage last night, when in the lead up to the debate, folks like us were saying, oh, I can't wait to see Elizabeth Warren versus Bernie Sanders.
Right.
When it really turned out they were like a tag team.
Non-aggression pact.